This is crazy, I'm on the right track, I'm finally found. You need some soul searching, the time is now. All I need is one mic.
This girl has no concept of like things taking time. Everything that you did involving money, you had to send the company the letters testamentary, and you had to send them an official copy. Some companies, like say like the cable company, they don't give it. You could send them a copy, but companies like that are sending you large amounts of money, they want to see the official copy. So you have to actually send them a copy that has this like raised seal in it. It has to be mailed. It has to go through their legal department. The legal department they need to verify that it's true. And then before you could do anything, that is what needs to happen. So send my letters out, and then you hear him in the meeting like, I sent them letters testamentary. So now they're getting 2 copies. He never told me he was doing that. So now I just wasted one of my copies. They need those before they could even talk to you. So I had to wait for that to happen first. It's like they thought I was just sitting around scratching my ass. I wasn't. I was trying to do things, but everything takes time. It took a couple of weeks for them to get the letters and for it to go through their legal department. And then when it finally did go through their legal department and then I was able to talk to somebody, they told me I had to order this billing stuff. So I went to the hospital. I ordered the billing paperwork, right? This is now after the meeting. Satan sent me the health records. That wasn't what I needed. So I go to the P.O. box one day. Another envelope was in there. So I was like, okay, great. This is the paperwork that I had ordered to file my mom's Affleck claim, right? I have to fill out all these papers. They do the whole thing. I send it in, right? And about 2 or 3 weeks later, I get a package in the mail.
And I realized that I had sent them the wrong paperwork, and the reason being was because Satan just couldn't keep her little hands out of it. So she had ordered paperwork again. It got sent to the P.O. box, and my paperwork that I ordered, she took out of the P.O. box and never sent to me. And so I ended up sending in a claim with the wrong paperwork, the paperwork that she had ordered, and she took my paperwork, the correct paperwork, out of the P.O. box and never gave it to me.
She screwed it up because she couldn't just keep her fucking hands out of it. She kept like having to insert herself in this. So I wasted a whole like 3 weeks doing this, and I'm like, dude, this girl is so obnoxious. I don't know how many times I told her I was handling it, but she just like didn't understand what that meant. Oh, and then okay, with the electric bill, if you guys remember from the meeting, they were talking about it being on a balanced budget and all this stuff, and my brother had written out that check, right? Well, again, because these assholes were in such a rush to get everything done, I call up PSEG, the electric company, one day, and first of all, they had handed me that $500 check at the meeting. My brother hands me that $500 check. Satan emails me and tells me that the check actually was not included. So guess what? Satan made a mistake right there, misorganized psychopath. You fucked up. They tell me that it needs to be mailed out. And I'm like, why is the electric bill so much money? Well, my mom was on this balanced budget plan, and what that does is it's almost like they're estimating your bill, so they base it off of the year prior. The year prior, my mom was home all day because she was sick, and she was home and working from home, so she had all the lights on and the electric running, and I'm like, the electric can't be the same this year when nobody's living in the house. Literally, I would keep on the 2 front lights and the porch lights and maybe like a little lamp in the house, and they all had LED light bulbs, and my mom converted all of her fixtures to LED to save money. I'm like, how are we paying $500? So I called up the electric company and I got the bill lowered, so I had to write out a new check. Satan acted like she was so together and so with it. Even with the medical claims, I questioned them, and I ended up finding out that some of them weren't valid, but you know, but we just need answers on it. But dude, again, it takes time, especially with healthcare. With HIPAA laws, they're not going to give you the information. They needed to see, again, that I was the executor of the estate, and so I had to send them my license and the paperwork and all this shit, okay? But they just had no understanding of that, because here's the thing. They were doing this stuff before they should have been doing it legally, and I waited until I had my actual paperwork, because I knew that if I would have started calling places and doing things like this, they would have made a big deal about it. And so I waited, and I just did it the right way, period. Another thing I forgot to mention, I got into a car accident. Dude, my brain was so fried at this point in time. This was like a couple of days after Labor Day weekend. It was actually the day after Labor Day weekend, after I got this fucking crazy email from Satan, right?
And just to remind you guys, it was this email where she started calling me paranoid and told me that she knew, my birds and my third grade teacher's name. And then she said the TV is not the point. I took stuff from the hospital, and that she, was threatening me with court for the second time, I think.
I was going to get my family ice cream, and I passed the ice cream place, okay? And I went to go make a turn into this shopping center to turn around. I don't know, man, my head must have just been somewhere else. I mean, I made the turn, I looked, and then all of a sudden, this girl T-boned me right in my passenger side. Thank God my son wasn't with me, because I don't even want to think about it. The fucking airbags came out. I blacked out. Like, my eyes went completely black. I couldn't see anything. I remember just waking up in front of this like Chinese restaurant. I was like, what the fuck just happened, dude? My car was, it was a lease. It was brand new. I had just gotten the car in December, and I got in an accident already. It was due to all the stress that I was going through. Now, this kind of ended up being a good thing, because I got a rental car, and they ended up giving me this sick ass fucking Denali. And I was able to fit more things in my truck. I don't know why I even just told you guys that. It doesn't really matter. So in the weeks after this meeting, I just started to do what I had to do to get my mom's estate settled. I was going to my mom's house pretty much on a daily basis to go through things, because I felt like I was being rushed and I just had to go through things and take what I wanted. I started keeping a list, and then after I got my brother's list, I was like, this is so ridiculous. And I hate to say this, but I kind of stopped giving a fuck.
I also should mention that my brother seemed completely uninterested in any of the items left in the house. I mean, he had said several times that he wasn't looking to take a bunch of stuff. And at the meeting, his attorney said this.
Basically, whatever's in the house, either she can have it, or
whatever's in the house.
I just kind of just realized that nobody gave a fuck about my feelings. So I just went about my business and started doing what I had to do. So I would go over my mom's house every day. I would spend an hour or so going through things, taking things, etc., etc. I told you guys in, I think, one of my last videos that I offered for my mom's siblings to come over and take things from the house. None of them wanted to come, because none of them wanted to be involved in this bullshit. Who would want to be involved in it? My grandmother's birthday was coming, okay? And I knew that they were all going to Aunt Betty's house for my grandmother's birthday. Now, obviously, I wasn't going to be invited this year. And so what I did was I picked items for each and every person, and I really tried to pick items with care. I didn't just like say, oh, here's some tacky thing. I picked items that I really thought reminded me of these people. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back like you're so great, Leanna, but like, I did not have to do this. I didn't have to give these people anything from my mom's house. I did it because I thought it was what my mom wanted to do. And the whole point of me becoming the executor of her estate was to be able to carry out her wishes in the way that she wanted them carried out. And so I went through her house and I selected, what I think was nice items for each and every single one of my mom's siblings to give to them. I opened it up that they could come over. None of them wanted to come over. Only one of her siblings came over, her brother, her youngest brother. But I picked out things that reminded me of them, like for my Aunt Debbie, she loves butterflies. So my mom had this really nice, it was like a wall sconce from Bombay Company, which makes really nice stuff for the home. And I know my aunt likes candles and stuff, and so I picked that out for her. My Aunt Betty, I picked out, my mom had this little end table that had a marble top that spun around. It was like a Lazy Susan kind of thing. That was my item that I picked out for her, and I gave her that. On September 15th, I had plans at my cousin Nico to go and see my grandmother that night for her birthday. We weren't invited to the party. She wasn't either, because my cousin Nico, I just gotta tell you guys this because this is so fucked up. This is how my family operates. Just because my cousin Nico talks to me, they don't talk to her anymore. She's another person who got shunned by my family just because she talks to me. Let me just ask you guys, since you guys are watching, what did my cousin Nico's son do to you guys that you can't even send the kid a birthday card? You guys are disgusting, and you should be ashamed of yourselves the way you've treated not only her and her son, but my son. What did my son do to you guys? My son hasn't gotten a Christmas card, a birthday card. Do you think my mom would be happy about that? That you guys have completely just forgotten about her first grandchild? You guys think she would be happy about that? Because I don't.
And I just want to add here that if the tables were turned and it was your daughter and your grandkids, you know damn well my mom would never treat your kids or your grandkids like that.
I don't want anything from you guys. I'm just saying, how do you fucking lay your head down at night? It's beyond me. Anyway, we go to my grandmother's house that night and we brought her to the diner. We sang happy birthday and we had a beautiful night with her. It was nice. It was a nice night, okay?
I forgot to mention that night when I went over to my Nana's house, I brought the items from my mom's house that I was going to give to my, aunts and uncles so that whoever was coming to pick my grandmother up could take the items with them and give them out at the party. I had wrapped everything up nice and labeled everything so everybody knew whose stuff was whose.
And now it's Saturday, September 17th, okay? And this is my grandmother's birthday, and it's the same day that they're going over there for the party. It's whatever time in the afternoon. I got a text message from my friend Kara. Her and her husband, they have a friend that was staying at the house, right? I got a text from her, and she's like, I just got a text from my house guest. So he had seen this black pickup truck back into my mom's driveway and two people loading shit into the back of the truck. And so he sent Kara pictures, and being the good neighbor that Kara is, looking out for my mom's house, she sent me the pictures. And she's like, oh, is this your brother and his wife? And I'm like, oh my God, they're back at the house taking shit again.
I should add here that they had every right to take things from the house. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have been taking things from the house. What I'm saying is that they hand me a list, they say they're done taking stuff from the house, and then they are getting angry with me for taking things from the house. You know, it doesn't work like that.
I can't, you guys said you're done taking shit and you don't want shit, but yet you're at the house again taking more shit. It just doesn't make any sense. And then giving me a hard time about taking shit. It's so insane. So this guy, I gotta give him credit. He was like paparazzi, dude. He sent great pictures to me of my brother and his wife loading the truck up. So I'll show you guys those pictures.
And you could see Satan in her frumpy ass body looking at the truck. She's probably like sizing it up like, oh, what can we fit? What are we going to fit? Steven, what are we going to fit in there? And then here she is. She's pointing to something. I don't know. She's probably like, oh, Steven, it's probably a good idea if we take that. Steven, what do you think we should take? Oh, I think I see something.
As you can see, there's a ladder back there and they're carrying out some bin. I think it was my mom's Halloween decorations. Oh, I wish I could show you guys Satan's disgusting face in this picture, but I can't. So they go to the party that day and I talked to my mom's youngest sister the next day. She tells me, I just wanted to say thank you. And I'm like, thank you for what? And she's like, your brother and his wife copied me. So Satan and my brother went to the house that day to collect items from my house to give to my aunts and uncles.
Now, before I get into this, I just want to show you guys that earlier this week, before my grandmother's party, I had called my brother and I left him a voicemail. I call him. I'm going to leave him a message on his house phone.
Have reached mailbox number 631. After leaving a message, you can hang up or press pound for more options.
Hey, excuse me. It's your sister. I am calling because a few things. Number one, if you got anything from the P.O. box, please, send that to me. You can drop it off in my mailbox. Just swing by one night and just put it in the mailbox. That would be the easiest way. Otherwise, I don't know, leave it at my mom's house or mommy's house or whatever. The other thing is, I know you're going to his house this weekend, and I do think that mommy would want her sisters to have some of her stuff. I am open to them coming if they want to take something, whatever, after, we're done, of course. Otherwise, that's up to you. I just want them to know I'm okay with it and that it's, whatever. So, what was the other thing? I don't know if you got a phone call from Gina from the bank. Apparently, I forgot to sign some of the checks. And my head's a little in the clouds sometimes. But they're okay. She's sending them through. So,
I think that's about it. You could give me a call back. My phone number is 631. Have a nice day. Bye. Now, instead of getting a call back, I get an email from the account that I told my brother I was no longer communicating with. Okay, so it says, Leanna, I got your message. Gina already called me and I verified the checks. Of course I agree that all mom's siblings can come and take some things to remember mom. Since email doesn't work for you, when I get stuff in the mail, I'll either mail a copy to you or scan and email it to my attorney. He can then forward it to yours. I'd rather not drop by your house. So I happen to know that my brother's wife forwarded the email to my aunt. And my aunt told her, I guess, that they didn't want to come to my mom's house. And so I believe somebody tipped Satan and my brother off that I had left items for my mom at my grandmother's house the night prior. And so I guess the next morning, they decided to go to my mom's house and take items to give to everybody, thusly copying me. Now, this isn't the first time this has happened. I just want to put that out there. That I've had an idea and they tried to copy me. Now, they did the same thing with, and I didn't tell you guys this part of the story. I think I remember telling you guys at the funeral home, they had these mini urns there, okay? And I saw this one urn and it reminded me of something that was in my grandmother's apartment. And remembering what my mom had said to me, the real last conscious words that she said to me was, I want my family. And so I came up with this idea of getting all these little urns and giving each one of her siblings and, my grandmother, one of these urns with a little bit of my mom's ashes. And I didn't tell you guys this part of the story. Probably a week or so after my mom passed away, I'm thinking in my head, wow, the funeral home never called me and told me that my mom's ashes were ready, because I kept my dad's urn and I put my mom's ashes with my dad's ashes, and then my brother took his portion and put them in a different urn. So a week or two had passed and I'm like, that's really weird. I didn't hear anything from the funeral home, and I'm like, what's going on with the ashes? I would assume that they would have them done by now, And so I called the funeral home up. A month had passed and I'm like, where are these ashes? So I called the funeral home up and they're like, oh yeah, your brother picked them up weeks ago. And I'm like, well, why didn't anybody call me and notify me and tell me that these ashes were ready? My mom's urn was just sitting there. So get this shit, okay? All those little urns, that was my idea to get for all the brothers and sisters and everything. My brother and his wife took it upon themselves to pick up all the little urns and make it part of this little Christmas present that they gave out to my mom's siblings. Satan's so tacky. I gotta show you guys some of the tacky shit this girl buys. Probably because she can't really think of because you have to care about other human beings to really think of a meaningful gift to get them. She either gets gift cards or she buys this personalized bullshit, which is so creepy. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys this. She bought my grandmother a cookie jar and with all my grandmother's grandkids' names on it. Here's the funny part. My brother's name is on this goddamn cookie jar 3 times. Look at my name. Look how small it is. You need a goddamn magnifying glass to read my name. Also, my Nana hasn't seen 2 of my cousins in over a decade, and Satan never even met them, but she puts their names on there. Who the fuck are you to be buying my grandmother a gift with all her grandkids' names on it? Or not even one of her grandkids. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. I'm like, do you even know my grandmother? She's not that kind of grandmother who's like, you want a cookie from the cookie jar? Because most of us are adults. It's so tacky and ugly. Satan, you have horrible fucking taste. Just saying. But thank you, Satan, because without you, me and my cousin Nico would have never had this picture without your cookie jar. But anyway, so to go along with her personalized bullshit gifts, she goes and picks these urns up and then she makes it part of this gift where she got these tacky angel ornaments for everybody, whatever. This girl is such a creepy weirdo. Why are you buying my family angel ornaments with my mom's name on them? It's almost like she wanted the attention from my mom's death. It's so weird. This girl's creepy. As if we haven't established that already. Yoga socks, binoculars, weirdo. Anyway, okay, couple of days passes, whatever. My grandmother's birthday passes. Here's the fun part. I told my brother I'm not talking to that email anymore. I am absolutely not talking to this email address anymore. I'm not doing it, right? So I told you guys I got the electric bill lowered, right? So now I needed to write out a new check and I had to have my brother sign it. So I'm like, I'm not going to the fucking post office. This is ridiculous. So what I did was I typed a letter out. I printed it out on my computer, and thinking it was no big deal, I drove to his house during the day, and I left this letter and the checks that I needed him to sign in his mailbox. And I pull up to the house and I'm like, wow, they're having a lot of work done at this house, huh? Which, like, is their business. I mean, it's okay to fix up your house. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have been doing that. They must have done $60,000, $70,000 worth of work to their house. They had the whole entire house resided, new roof. They got this stone veneer all over the front of their house. They got their driveway redone. They got these pillars made. They had the whole fucking house resided. They got all new fences. And I dropped this letter off to my brother. And I made it look like all professional. I'll show you guys a picture. And I wrote, "Dear, I see you returned my call tonight, 9/19/2017 at approximately 7:08 p.m. Unfortunately, I was unavailable to return your call during the limited time frame you had suggested." He actually called me back this time, right? Like, I only had an hour time frame to call him back, and I was busy during that time, and it was like, all right, so I guess I can't call you back, right? So I said, "I was unable to return your call during the limited time frame you had suggested, seeing that I was tending to another matter. Since your regular email account is no longer operable and playing phone tag is far too consuming, I thought this would be the next best way to communicate, although still time consuming. I just want to update you on a few matters and also get some information." So then I did my little bullet points, because we gotta keep those going, right? "For starters, I was finally able to speak to someone regarding the unpaid medical claims in mommy's name. There was one for Dr. blah, 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 blah." I'm not even gonna read this. It's bullshit. I just basically told him that one of the medical claims that he needed answers on was not valid, okay? So I saved us $383. I said, "I am still looking into the other claims. As far as I can say, that 2 of the claims that were from 2015 are valid. Although her deductible was paid, blah, 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 blah." I go through the whole thing about her, you know, deductible. "Another thing I did was contact PSEG in regards to her electric bill. I did some research and found out that her electric usage was less than half of what it was when she was still alive. The reason why her bill was as much as your bill with a family of 4 is because she was on the balanced budget plan. They go off your past usage. I asked them to take us off balanced budget and to just give us meter readings. With that said, they adjusted the bill to reflect her actual usage, and they took $295 off the current bill, leaving us with a bill of $296.66. I wrote out a new check, closed in the envelope. Please sign it and mail it to them. There is no need to include current statement." Okay, so then I am still waiting for the paperwork to file the AFA claim. Seeing that I had it mailed out on the 1st, I assumed it had come to the P.O. box and that you have collected it after last week's meeting. That's right, because when they left the meeting that day, they went straight to the P.O. box and then straight to my mom's house. I could have had the claim processed days ago had you just left it there or just dropped it off at mommy's house as I asked you to do last week. I know you were there several times since. Please just leave it somewhere so I could get it done ASAP. So as for the house, I ask again that you provide me with any information about estate sales and or cleanouts before making any appointments or agreeing to any services. I want to make it clear that I will not agree to having the house cleaned out without first seeing some paperwork and speaking with someone from the company that you wish to hire. There are still a few more areas of the house I would like to go through before that is done. As you may remember, Mommy was a bit of a pack rat, and she saved a lot of our stuff from when we were younger. Also, I have a friend who actually owns a company that does cleanouts, and I could probably have it done for dirt cheap. Also, I am hoping to have the bed removed this weekend. I believe that is all for now. Please sign and mail the enclosed PSEG bill. You have a delightful day. Thank you, Leanna."
Before I get into the next part of the story, I just wanted to say that, yes, I was being an asshole and I was kind of being a smart ass. But like, it was all I could do at the time was kind of be a little petty. So forgive me for being petty. Also, as far as the estate sales go, I wanted to talk to the company. I wanted to know when they were coming, what they were charging, what their commission was. And I have a right to do that as a co-executor. And I'll further explain that in my next video.
So I left this letter at my brother's house, okay, with this check that I needed signed because I was like, these motherfuckers want everything done quick. Do the house claim, mail the bills out. We have to pay the stuff immediately. Everything needs to be done immediately. But yet you want me to snail mail you bills when it's easier and quicker for me to just drive to your house and drop a check off at your house for you to sign. You, who wants everything done immediately and wants his answers immediately and is making all these deadlines and all this crazy shit, you want me to snail mail you a check, which is going to take way longer than me just going to your house and dropping it off. So in the interest of the estate and getting things done in a timely manner, I figured I would go to his house and drop off some checks and be proactive, okay? Later that night, he calls me up and I'm like, oh, that's weird. He never calls me, right? I missed his phone call. And I'm kind of glad I did because I don't think it would have went well had I answered the phone that night. And listen to this. Listen to this shit. This is the fucking voicemail that I get after leaving something at my brother's house. Checks to sign for my mom's estate. Throwing something in his mailbox. This is what I get.
Leanna, this is got the letter that you left at my house. Do not drop by my house unannounced again. Okay? I just want you to understand that. Do not drop by my house unannounced again. If you have to reach me, you can grow up and email me, or I tried to call you and you weren't available. But leaving letters at my house is unacceptable. That's an unacceptable form of communication. And I'm going to contact my attorney. Bye.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like a hostage situation. It sounds like somebody's holding a gun to his head. That doesn't even sound like him. That does not even sound like my brother. It sounds like a pre-programmed robot. He's a small wonder. What?
Do not drop by my house unannounced again.
You're telling me to grow up, dude? A grown-up would be able to put their bullshit aside and just say, hey, psychotic narcissist wife, can you just scooch aside so me and my sister could just settle my mom's estate because you're causing a problem. If me and my sister could just talk to one another like normal human beings would do, everything would take so much quicker and we would get our money quicker.
Leaving letters at my house is unacceptable. It's an unacceptable form of communication.
I'm sorry, Steven. Could you please write me a list of acceptable forms of communication? Here's an acceptable form. Fuck you. Could you believe that shit? That's a real message that he left on my voicemail. And I'm like, no, you don't sound like you're brainwashed or controlled at all. Not at all. Totally normal. Completely normal for a brother to leave a voicemail for his sister like this. But the real reason, let's be honest, the real reason is that you just didn't want me to see all the work that you were having done at your house. That's the real reason that you got so upset that I came by your house. Because you didn't want me to really know why you guys were in such a rush for the money. This girl, she was spending my mom's money before she even had it. And with that, I'm gonna leave this video here and I'll come back in the next one. Bow!